guys, welcome back to Cassette Confessions. This video we're looking at the new Magic Roundabout from 1997. The Magic Roundabout, an interesting show from the 1960s, made famously by Eric Thompson and Ivor Wood. Well, Ivor Wood was heavily involved in it. Eric Thompson did work in the English dub version. It was originally a French programme. And obviously it was in black and white. Now obviously during the time of the 60s it came into a very psychedelic type show. Interesting characters. With the likes of Florence, Dougal, Dylan, Ermintrude, Brian, Zebedee, and I forgot the guy who was actually the Magic Roundabout. Old man, I forgot his name, bollocks. Sorry about that. Someone comment down below. So this show I've never really, never knew much about really, because I knew it was famous. I knew it was quite a popular show in the 1960s, but I never actually owned a video of it until I found a picture in an old photo from, that dates back to April 2000, the 14th, I think. It's a picture of my sister, and just when she was about nearly 1 year old, I think. And in the rack, there was different things, you know, Thomas Tench and Friends, Tots TV, The Wind and Willows, Fun and Games Bumper Special was in there as well. You know, cover some of my parents' films as well, stuff like films like No Escape, Marked for Death, a few Disney films as well included, and somewhere near at the bottom, towards on the left-hand side, there was the new Magic Roundabout. I was quite intrigued actually because I, you know, say, what is that? And I read, and my vision is pretty good actually, and I managed to see it. I think Magic Roundabout, eh? And then afterwards, I did some bit of research, of course, and it's a VHS release from '97. It is actually a reissue from '93. That was done by Polygon Video, but at this point it's done by Channel 5 Video, not Channel 4 Video, Channel 5 Video, which been around since the 1980s. And you know, the output's a bit interesting because they actually what did they do? They did some stuff for the naughty TV show that done by Cosgrove Hall in the 70s, I believe. Bits and pieces here and there, maybe a few cheap fairy tale films as well, I think, to be honest. Yeah, so it was interesting to find that this was in there, in the collection, like stuff I've, you know, it's like going back, you know, some like, you know, you go back to some like first songs. I never knew I had that VHS. Same with this one. So what we got on here, it's a redone version of the Magic Roundabout that was aired on Channel 4 in the early 90s, I think 91, they did this. And instead of Eric Thompson, it's Nigel Planer doing the narration, taking his narrator roles onto the characters. Of course, Nigel Planer, of course, you know, famous for the hippie Neil from The Young Ones, Heavy Lentils Man. I had to put that in there somewhere. What else did he do? Something like with a naked actor or something like that. Documentary series, Roll Over Beethoven was another one. Filthy Rich and Cat Fat was another one. A very comedic actor, but also did a little bit of drama here and there. He was in Rira Rock You as Khashoggi, I think, in the original stage play of Rira Rock You. So that has some ties to Ben Elton, of course, with that. Pretty interesting. And he basically narrates a lot of, narrates all the characters and also redoes a bunch of the episodes, stuff like, I'm trying to think on the top of my head because the episodes, I can't remember much about the episodes, of course, because they're not very sort of, you know, they don't tell anything on the back. You know, they say it's 10 episodes, but what are those episodes anyway? It's like, just don't know really. You know, one of them's alarm clock. Dylan has bagpipes. Dougal has glasses in one. Somebody with an onion, I think, is another one. I think a musical box is another one as well. I think I can't remember most of it, unfortunately. You know, yeah, it's on YouTube anyway, but fair enough. But I think it's interesting because one thing that struck out, I think I put this in when I did the Power Nostalgia video from the Magic Roundabout, which actually was a last made edition actually, because there was maybe something else. But when I found out I had this VHS in my collection, I didn't know about it. I had to include it in. I had to shove it in, even though it was a French production. It was made in France. I wasn't too. You know, I didn't include anything that was done made in different parts of like European countries or anything like that, or America. It was mainly all British centric most of the time. Well, most of them were all British centric anyway. And so it was pretty interesting just included in there. I had to redo a title sequence, which I had to do, which was that sort of like space time tunnel thing, and how was it LA Dream Celerex something music that Oliver Harper used in his retro let's plays, so including that one, and all sorts of things really. So that was a little bit of information about that. Yeah, I think I do say it's the last May edition anyway. So it is interesting to include because like it's. I remember seeing the Magic Roundabout movie from 2005. I might do a review of that maybe whenever. I don't know, but I might talk about it maybe because I remember watching it years ago, back in the day, 2005 I think it came out. So it was brilliant. I think that's all my recollection of from the film, even though I had a VHS from that dates back to '97, really. So interesting. There's some brilliant characters, of course. The animation is brilliant. Style-wise is interesting, very crazy and psychedelic. I always love Zebedee. Great character, of course. Very standout he is. Very sort of like bulbous, with a spring and everything else, and a large handlebar mustache. Great. One of my favourite characters, actually. There's always Brian. Brian the Snail is another good one. He's actually named after Brian Cosgrove. If you don't know that, I think Cosgrove himself actually mentioned that in a documentary or something like that, or tidbits of information. Really, I think do with an award speech or something else, but he didn't mention it or something. One thing also to put on is that there was a mini documentary that Channel 4 did in the early 90s, of course, when Nigel Planer was doing the narration. It's a very weird, I don't know what you call it. It's like a non-linear type documentary that's like a story woven into it. Like Nigel Planer's trying to discover the Magic Roundabout. All some weird shit is going on as well. Like, it's weird, and it's weird trippy. You have like the weird remix, of course, which is actually really good, actually. It does include some samples as well. I think you can find it, actually. It's on YouTube somewhere, and I think I did originally include it on a compilation a couple of years back, but I had to get rid of it, I think because of copyright issues with it, or a different song, actually, that I had to get rid of it, unfortunately. But it's a very weird, trippy one. Very sort of trancey, dancey. I mean, it's like a dance track, really, but pretty interesting. It's strange. And that's really about it, really, to be honest. I have nothing else to say. Just a little bit of tidbits of information. That documentary, Nigel Planer himself, what he used to do beforehand, Channel 4's involvement, of course, and, my sort of experiences with that, with the show itself, the franchise. But overall, it's a nice little interesting VHS. Something that's weird and included in the collection. Just another one-off, really. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. I've been talking about the new Magic Roundabout from 997. A reissue, that's from 993. Or semi-reissue, because there's some episodes were sort of missing, or sort of not included on that one. So, fair enough. 10 episodes. Okay. See you for the next video. And